Okay, hey, how you doing?
Welcome. I just had a giant plate of ground meat. You've got a cigar in your hand. I've got a whiskey in mine. My belly's full. I feel right.
2 whiskeys.
I think we should get after this podcast episode. What do you think?
Yeah, stop wasting our listeners' time. Come on.
And go. We are the Old Fashioned Dad Podcast, seeking to love dads and men through the person and work of Jesus Christ, while entering into tough conversations on marriage, mental health, sex, and parenting, all while sipping good whiskey. So, we got more bourbon, we got more cigars, and a belly full of meat on this episode of this podcast.
Fill me up.
Okay, we're going to do that.
All right.
And since we liked it so much on the previous episode, we're bringing it back for this episode. Lucky number 7, bourbon. Woo!
Where's that from?
This is from Kentucky.
America.
And I thought it was going to be an MGP product, but it is not an MGP product. And if you want to know more about MGP product, you're going to have to hit me up in the DMs, and I'll explain that to you. But I'm not going to explain that to you on this episode.
Did he just adopt a southern accent? Is that what that was?
I did.
You've been spending too much time in Arizona? Where there's
They have a lot of accents down in Arizona.
Do they?
For like this Florida panhandle thing. At any rate.
What's going on?
So we have a topic to cover today after we talk a tiny bit about this whiskey, which is a whopping 115 proof.
That's yummy.
Whopping 115 proof. Coming right out of Kentucky. Not Arkansas, not Kansas, not Montana,
Not New York.
not Colorado, Kentucky. So, 115 proof bourbon. This is toasted bourbon. So, makes a difference. Nice caramel, vanilla notes. Perfect. How's it going with your cigar?
Not well.
Your cigar is
struggling.
almost DOA.
I'm struggling.
Your cigar is almost dead on arrival?
Almost.
What did you do to it?
Our listeners don't care.
They might. I'm not sure. Well, like the previous episode, this one will be even better. We're going to talk about, ready for it? Topic? Introversion and extraversion.
Versions.
But the direction that we are going is undecided yet. And maybe we'll just get there as we go. If that makes a lot of sense.
So that you're saying it's going to be like most of our episodes. We have a topic. We have no idea really where we're heading with it.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the general theme that I like, is kind of like picking a topic out of a hat and just riffing on it.
It's good. You know what I'm waiting for
Yeah.
is a topic we pick and we just have like polar opposite opinions on it. We get in a fight. That hasn't happened yet.
Like a fist fight?
Yeah.
I think we're too polite.
Or even a verbal fight.
Yeah, fight club, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I think we're too polite.
To have a verbal altercation.
Oh, any altercation.
Yeah.
I think,
Maybe.
like, because we're true Northwesterners, we don't have altercations in front of each other. We go behind each other's backs and grumble, in the shower.
Not me. I am a dedicated
Grumbler?
Wait, what am I looking for?
You are anti-passive aggressive?
Yes, there you go.
Is that it?
Yep.
Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
anti-passive aggressive.
So you're just aggressive.
I'm just straight up aggressive.
So you'll just be like,
I'll just reach across and strangle you.
well, you could do it.
I mean, I don't think I would fare very well. You're much stronger than I am.
I don't know about
And
that.
better looking.
Your
Your strength is in your beard. Strength in the beard.
I did shave it down a little bit today, so it might have lost a little bit of its strength, like Samson from the Bible.
I'm due for a haircut and a shave tomorrow because I've got my
No, don't do it.
Army National Guard drill Friday. And
Okay.
I know. Someone's got to serve this country.
I sure ain't. I just work in mental health, which seems very
You're serving it.
selfish.
You're serving it through this podcast.
Oh, Christian, you always know how
I
to say the
know.
right
I feel like we
things.
need to have like American flag in the background. Like,
waving and fan blowing.
yep, exactly.
Perfect.
All right.
So introversion and extroversion. So, Christian, what's your understanding of both of those things?
They're things,
They are things.
and
They're descriptors
they're descriptors.
for something, right? Are they descriptors for like food or animals or what?
Oh my gosh, this is what I have to deal with. You see this? Your husband.
I'm married to the guy.
I know.
So lucky. So lucky.
So fortunate. So introversion, extroversion. So my thoughts on this. I mean, there's probably books on it. But
I don't care about the books.
I
just
don't
wanna
read.
know
I don't
your
read
thoughts.
books.
Yeah. Who cares about books?
So the way I understand and view the two is basically what gives you energy.
Oh.
You know how. So I've always considered myself a introvert. where like I could be in a room alone by myself for a week, it'd be fine. My wife, not so much. But
That's actually surprising to me.
at the same time, I'm very social. I enjoy social things. You know, like I'll go to a week-long, real estate conference and, hang with the best of them at the after parties and network and meet people, build relationships and stuff. But at the end of it, I'm done. I'm exhausted.
Just wiped out.
Yeah, I'm just exhausted. Well, I know other people who, will do that and they're even more amped up afterwards. They get energy from it. For me, like I enjoy it and I'll do it, but it's exhausting to me. I think I thrive more in like one-on-one environments or small groups, while like a conference environment, you've got hundreds and thousands of people, which is a little draining to me. And like, it doesn't intimidate me. Like I'll be the first to go up and like introduce myself to a group of strangers and make friends. But I consider introvert, extrovert not on the behavior and how social you are, but on whether or not it's life-giving or life-sucking, so to speak.
Okay.
So,
yeah. And I think that's kind of the general direction I'm going. But before I jump into it, Julia, what would you consider yourself?
Am I an introvert or an extrovert?
Yep.
I'm a little of both.
So you're an omnivert?
Yeah.
You're carnivore?
Yeah. You're an omnivert? Well, I don't know that we're discussing omnivert on the show, so
Well.
Yeah.
All right, you can finish.
So, if I am in a group where I know the people well, then that is energizing to me, and I like being around people. But if I am in the environment where I'm with strangers, then I'm tapped. I'm like, I don't want to be here anymore.
Perfect. Okay, so my wife's an omnivert. I think I'm at the core an introvert.
Yes.
I think I'm at the core a classic introvert.
I'm surprised that's even a thought.
A question, even like any hesitation.
Yeah.
Case in point, and this came up in a conversation recently about my party that I had for when I graduated from graduate school.
I wasn't there. What the hell?
We can throw another one. You can show up.
7 years ago.
2011, babe.
Okay, this was 10 years ago.
There we go.
Hey, we were living here.
We can throw another party. You can show up.
We'll have
and you can get me a gift.
We'll have another excuse for it. We'll have another party. It's good.
Okay. I mean, in all honesty, I didn't even show up to my own graduation party.
No, you Irish goodbye your own graduation.
Well, okay, that's my point. That's what I was getting.
Goodbye. What's that? Is that a microaggression? What is
Yeah,
that?
it might be, but I'm Irish, so I can say it.
Oh, okay, nice.
So
Me
it's
too.
just,
I've
it's
got
just
like
an aggression.
a 1/62nd Irish.
No, I'm like 75%. I'm a Mick. But at any rate, so my graduation party happened, and I get to this place in parties, even with people that I know, where I'm just done.
Sure.
Like I don't have anything left to give, and I really feel inconvenienced and at the thought of going around telling everybody like, hey, I'm really tired. I honestly just want to go to bed.
So you just ghosted.
Yeah, so I just ghosted. So
He does this thing where he's like, I'll be right back.
And he's not.
okay, so in
He's
this
not right
in this
back.
scenario, like I'm pretty sure that I like waited till later in the evening, but Julia thinks
No, it was earlier.
Julia thinks I ghosted everybody at like
7:30.
6 p.m.
It was like you asked for ribs for this party,
Yeah.
so I'm like serving the ribs,
Yeah.
and you're gone.
I'm really sorry about that.
You're in bed at 6:30.
I love you though. I'm really sorry about that.
That's funny.
But at any rate,
Okay.
so I just say to everybody, well, not even to everybody, just whoever was in front of me at that particular moment, hey, I'll be right back. And so I go downstairs and I look at my bed and I'm like, that looks really tempting. And I lay down, and I don't think I wake up until the next morning.
This was early enough in our marriage where I literally thought he would be right back.
Yeah, Julia believed me.
And I went
Sucker.
down, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
And I was
funny.
so exhausted from maybe doing 3.5 years worth of graduate school that I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and just peace out. But it turned into a pretty funny story for everybody, because there was like, hey Christian, remember when you bailed on your own graduation party? At any rate, the Irish goodbye is fairly classic for me, because I think at the core of who I am, I'm an introvert. Like I get drained very easily in big groups because there's a lot of for me a lot of pressure for feeling like I need to be on.
Okay.
I do much better when it's like one-on-one or like 2, maybe 3 at the most. But I mean, like, I do very, very well when it's one-on-one. But like,
hence the podcast.
Hence the podcast.
And the thousands, millions of people listening.
Yeah.
The 5 people listening.
And weirdly enough, like my insane following on Denim and Whiskey. But then I'm not interacting with people.
That's one directional. That it's not requiring anything from you. That it's voyeuristic.
Yeah, it is very voyeuristic. Yeah. You people.
Social media is so weird.
People.
Yeah. But as long as you keep buying the whiskey and the denim,
that's all we care about. That's all we care about. But so for me, like introversion, as I've always understood it, is like you do enjoy hanging out with people. Like that's not the issue. Sure. At the end of the day, you get your batteries recharged, your bucket refilled by quiet solitude, being by yourself.
Yep.
And there's varying degrees of how introversion kind of plays itself out. Extroversion, which I think I can have some moments of extroversion. They're rare. And maybe this is like kind of the, I don't know the word I'm thinking here.
Neither do I.
I think it's audience dependent.
Yeah, thank you. It's audience dependent. Thank you. That's why my wife is.
It's almost like she knows you or something.
It's so weird.
So weird.
Yeah, we're not married or anything.
I know.
But extroversion I've always understood as the opposite of introversion, obviously, that you get your batteries recharged, your bucket refilled by being with people. And like the thought of being by yourself more solely and being in solitude actually drains you,
Yep.
And that's how I've always understood it. And then there is the omnivert, where they are like, well, I can be either one.
Sure.
Weirdos. Those are weird people.
Yeah. Well, and maybe I haven't reassessed it for a while. Maybe that's more me, because I could do either. I'm fine with either.
You go both ways.
That's really weird. I don't know where we're going with this. Yeah, because I think it's a sliding scale. I think very few people are like hardcore introvert, hardcore extrovert, and I think a lot of people confuse it with how social someone is. Because you could be a perfectly social and unawkward introvert, but it still drains you. Like at the end of the day, you go home and you're like, I'm wiped versus
out. Yeah.
I'm excited, I'm stable.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So, the dad podcast. So you both are introverts.
We are dads. He's an omnivert. I'm an introvert.
I don't know. I don't like labels. I don't like labels.
Okay, let's call you both introverts.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean to raise an extroverted child? Because we have an extroverted child.
Are we talking about
I've got
our
extrovert
8-year-old?
turn too. Yeah.
Are we talking about
Yeah.
and your 9-year-old?
Oh well, you just turned 10 yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah,
We need to
double
get him a
digits.
gift. We need to get him a gift.
Yeah,
Legos,
you do.
Maybe? Legos.
Yeah, he loves Legos.
Okay,
we went to
we'll get him
Lego.
some Legos.
We went to the Lego store yesterday, and he was in heaven.
Thanks,
He loved
listeners, for listening. We're gonna get him some Legos.
it. Yeah, if you want to get any Legos for my son, feel free.
All right, we'll get him some.
DM
Legos.
me.
So, like, raising an extroverted child, like Livy, who is like, wait, we're gonna be at home again today? That's
Well,
literally
okay.
the worst thing.
So this has been an issue for me as a dad that is introverted. That like I'm cool just hanging out and chilling at home and just bumping around from room to room. Like, how was your day? Well, I took journeys from different rooms in the house, so my day was good. Whereas my kid,
It's an adventure.
well, I migrated from our bedroom down to like my whiskey cave, so it was a great journey.
Change of ecosystem.
Yeah, well, yeah. Every room's got a different environment. For me, it's perfect. But I know for Livy, she really thrives on actually having an entire change of scenery and variety within her daily schedule.
Yep.
That where like,
Seeing different people.
yeah, she needs that.
Yeah.
Like, and that has been, that has been a very challenging thing for me. Not like a bad challenge, but it's been a very good challenge because it's pushed me to go like, okay, this is what my kids need. Emma's more like me.
Yeah.
She's
She's introverted.
She's introverted, so I don't need to, cultivate or work with that as much. But with Livy, it's pushed me to be more in relationship with people. Like, I'm friends with people I don't want to be friends with.
Hey, I'm right here. Christian.
Don't tell Christian I don't want to be friends with him. I'm just doing this for the cigars.
But there's people that Livy will just go and randomly talk to and meet and be friends with, and all of a sudden I'm friends with them now too. And I'm like,
The forced friends with their parents.
Okay, I guess I'm friends with you now. And so it's like it's forced me to kind of expand my reservoir of energy, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's forcing me to be, I guess, in terms of me, in introversion, sacrificial. Because left to my own devices, I would just I'd be happy to preserve and conserve. Yeah.
You're such a conservative.
I am.
Environmentally friendly. You're conserving the environment.
I'm all for the Green Deal.
Oh my goodness, we can't be friends. It's interesting because I was thinking about it, and in that context, I mean, I guess my wife Jenny is probably an introvert too, because we've had many conversations where she's like, "Does it make me a bad person that I don't want more friends? Like, I like my friends I have, and I don't have emotional capacity for adding new ones." And I tell her, yes, it makes you a terrible person. No.
Maybe give her a kiss right afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's interesting. I wonder if introverts are drawn to introverts as far as marriage goes, and extroverts, or is Paul Abdul correct? Do opposites attract? Do you guys remember that?
True in some cases.
Yeah. Huh.
What would you say your sister is?
Annie is an extrovert, 100%.
Sure.
Well, and she married an extrovert.
And she married an extrovert.
So in that case, yes.
Aaron's an extrovert.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big time.
Is he?
Big time.
Big time.
So how do you classify that? Like what attributes?
They would have people over.
Hospitality. Hospitality,
Okay.
I would say, is a big attribute of extroversion.
Finding joy in sharing your life.
Hospitable.
all aspects of your life. Like our home is our sanctuary.
Yeah.
We really only bring people in that we have very close relationship with.
Sure.
Our home is always open and everybody's always welcome, but it's like things like this and dinners, that's a very tight circle for us.
Huh, that's interesting because it kind of leads us into. I mean, this wasn't really what our discussion, but I remember.
Oh, we're riffing here.
Yeah, we're riffing.
That was awkward.
That was very white.
Well, Coke says don't be that way.
It's interesting because I remember in our, I don't know if it was Mars Hill or what it was, but I mean the concept of an open or a closed home was, I think Mark Driscoll was talking about that, and that got us thinking because the house I grew up in was very closed. We didn't have anyone over ever. I mean, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember ever having that. But in theory, I really like the idea of an open house where the community and the friends and people just coming and going. It's the place to hang out and it's safe and that kind of thing. But that's never really been our house. I mean, as much as we in theory like the idea, but we definitely have friends. The Easters, and other ones that it is, or the Faust. We're talking about. I mean, it's open. I mean, there's multiple families there just all the time, with kids coming and going and stuff. And I love that idea, but it's never been, how we are naturally. I guess it doesn't mean we couldn't be that way, but no, it's just kind of interesting to think about that also is a reflection of the parents, I guess, and how they intentionally set up their homes to be, or maybe it's just a reflection of their personalities. And
I think that there's always this conversation or this element to this conversation of which one's better, introversion, extroversion.
Well, the way I am, that's the best.
That way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Everybody just be like Christian.
Well, I think we all feel that way, right? The way we are is the way everyone should be.
That is true, and that's usually how we interpret the world and kind of respond to the world. Is well, this is how I see it. Everybody else should kind of function similarly, and so we're quick to kind of go into this tribalistic response or demonize, the things that we're not, So, is extroversion bad? Is introversion better? Is introversion bad? Is extroversion better? No.
I think it comes down to execution, right? So we're introverted.
Yeah.
And, we have a very close circle, but I teach the kids, that there's this battle with them of this is mine and blah, blah, blah. And I'm trying to teach them that anybody that walks into the house, like everything that we have is theirs, that they have full access to, right? And so you can be introverted, but still be hospitable, and still open your home and be generous. But it's just you open your home to a small few instead of everybody at once.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, no,
That's good.
I agree with you.
I think I'm going to change her out for a co-host.
Can we? All right, I'll see you later. Wait, do I still have to provide whiskey?
Yes.
Oh man, you're in, babe. I'm out. Yeah, I lasted a year. So, by the way, it's been like a year
That's crazy.
since we started this thing.
We should have some celebratory.
So, like a celebratory
token
podcast, maybe the next
podcast.
episode.
Maybe, I don't know what. We got to be at 50. I think 50 we'll celebrate.
50. We're getting close.
We're 5 away, something like that.
We're getting close.
All right, we're getting close.
No, I think what Julia says is significant, that execution is important, because you could be an introvert or an extrovert, but be a total jerk, in how you function, but hospitality really is kind of a big deal, and the way that you're hospitable as an introvert might look a little bit different as an extrovert being hospitable, and I think that's an important thing as being a Christian too, so extroverts are going to have a larger grouping of people that they say, are friends, and they might have more nights where people are just over, whereas an introvert, they're like, hey, we have a tight circle of people, but we're looking to be hospitable and we're looking to bless just within this small circle.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think about it in terms of intentionality. Like, there's people we want in our lives that are beneficial, that we see, God having, created those relationships. Maybe for the extrovert, that group's larger. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's really what God's called you to. And I mean, I think the danger of thinking about, introvert, extrovert is we kind of, box ourselves into well, this is what it means. This is what it has to look like. Yeah. But in reality, sometimes God may, call the introvert to have a very large network of people to serve and love.
Sure.
So it's not just about our comfort of what comes naturally. I mean, just the very nature of being a Christian is unnatural. It is the spiritual regeneration of our souls, and we're called to do things that makes us uncomfortable and that requires dependence on God. So just ignore everything we just said about introvert, extrovert. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, like the first 20 minutes or so, just pay attention to this last minute. What Christian said was gold. What Julia said was amazing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think what we said is very valid. Just, I guess that's the footnote is, just because it doesn't come naturally to our personality doesn't necessarily mean that we're not called to something different or bigger.
And God's always going to challenge us in our personality types. He creates us all, so he knows which ones are going to be, the proclivity is towards introversion or towards extroversion, and so there's always going to be a challenge to incorporate the other one that you're not, and to exemplify some of those characteristics, because both can learn from the other. Extroverts can learn that there's benefit in solitude and silence and being by themselves and being reflected. Not reflected, but being reflective. And introverts can learn that there is benefit in being in community and being hospitable, which I think extroverts probably do a bit better job at. So both do a good job at the different things that they do, and both can learn from the other, and I think God gives those opportunities to do that. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's a pretty good place to wrap it up.
I think so. Julia, do you have any final words?
Yeah.
I think you said them all.
You don't have any more words?
I think so.
That's it?
She's tapped her words.
She's Irish goodbying us as we speak. She's going to bed. We'll see her tomorrow morning, I guess. Well, okay, awesome. So I feel good about. I feel like this is a solid episode.
It's good. It's good. Oh, I forgot to hit record. I'm just kidding.
That was a huge bummer.
Just kidding.
Well, dads as always, and
as
men
always.
And husbands,
and Janice,
the
one mom
watching us
that listens.
Thank you.
Well, and my mom.
And,
hi, Mom.
And Christian's mom.
Yep.
We care about you.
We care about you.
we care about you. We love you. We're praying for you, especially you, Janice. We're praying for you.
We know who you're married to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. or we're ecstatic for you. Ecstatic for you.
Yeah, I know. There's probably a couple of Janices listening, right?
Yeah, probably. If you're a Janice other than the Janice that we know, let us know. But we care about you. We love you. We're praying for you. If there's a topic that you love us to cover, we can't promise that we will cover it expertly, but we promise you that we will cover it.
You know what would be even more interesting? Tell us a topic you do not want us to cover, and we will make sure to not cover it.
We will make sure to not cover it. Okay. But please do use the old social media buttons and look us up and smash those buttons and follow us. Because
smash it.
We want those follows. Because that's what we're about. We're all about follows.
Yeah, that's the only reason we do this is to become social famous.
Yeah.
As 40-somethings.
Yeah.
Are you 40 yet?
Very soon.
Okay.
Very soon. I will join the middle age club.
Yep.
Middle age club.
Yeah.
Hit us up, Instagram, Facebook, and the old YouTubes. But in the meantime, if you find yourself near a watering hole that has beautiful bourbon, do partake. Your life will be pleasantly changed. Until then, cheers.